One of the two most legally entrapping words that I consider to be that we have been deceived with our entire lives. That is the word person. Are you a person? A lot of you will say yes, but no, not when it comes to law. You haven't been taught Black's Law or Valentine's Law or any of the legalese stuff at school. We were taught, most of us, out of Oxford English Dictionary. The definition of the word person in Black's Law Dictionary, a human being. Okay, sounds legit. We know ourselves to be human beings, don't we? If you look up the word human in Black's Law dictionaries 1 through 7, I cannot find the word human anywhere. However, you go to Valentine's Law Dictionary and you look up the word human being and it comes back with monster. Human-like form at birth but has no inheritable blood. A monster. My personal belief, use the words that make sense to you. I have had some people say, oh, never use the word person, just get it out of your vocabulary. Look, I don't want to go around being weird about stuff. I'm not going to go, oh, that living being over there. That's just me, that's my preference. I know that I'm not going to stuff up in a courtroom or in front of police with that. So, you know, you need to decide what's best for you. Number 2, an entity such as a corporation. The birth certificate says to K.V.I. Act of 1666. The massive deception of the all caps name used for extortion and to legally entrap you, especially through legislation, such as a corporation that is recognised by law as having the rights and duties of a human being. A human being. Well, hang on, Black's Law. Why don't you have the word human being for me to look up in your dictionary? Or is that just up to my interpretation? Number 3, the living body of a human being. And then it goes on to say, contraband found on the smuggler's person. Now, there's a whole lot of different definitions and things that you can go on to just to confuse and get yourself all twisted up. But let's go through this list. An artificial person, there's a disabled person, which is a person who has a disability. See disability as is. Fictitious person. Now you can see how this can be tricking and entrapping, part of our vocabulary that we know of. But we're not a person. So again, that doesn't apply. Fictitious person, see artificial person. Interested person. A juristic person, a legal person, a moral person, a natural person. Oh, don't get caught up with that. They'll try and trap you with that. And they will try and say, if you are a natural person, just not a person, period. That's it. A natural person, a human being as distinguished from an artificial person created by law. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Designed to entrap. It's the legal fraud framework, the legalese. This is how they entrap you. Don't even get me started on the whole finance with all the finance legislation and the word person. Oh, and then there's the police and the word person and the Policing Act. So, but not for today. Person and loco parentis, a person acting in the place of a parent. But then look up the word parent too. Here's another thing. You do not have children. You do not have kids. They are your issue or they are your property. If you want to conquer it in law, that's what they are. They are your property or your issue. It is spells. You think of the word spelling. We learn spelling at school. It's all spells is what it is. And just get it into your mind that regardless, you are not a person. And when you see the word person written in any legislation or any documents, especially loan documents, credit documents, you're not a person. Any legislation that tries to trick you into believing that you are the person, I use the next word for the next video, that you are the person that this is being put upon. Every act, and remember that act's for a reason, this act binds the crown. So this pretend screenplay binds the crown, not anyone else, unless you consent to it, because you've been deceived and caught up in the legal entrapment.